Dave Smith. 41 shots for California, 40 for Colorado, and it will be a shootout.
At this point, I honestly feel bad for whatever team loses this game.
This has been an outstanding hockey match.
The way these teams have battled tonight, unbelievable.
Now, if I'm correct, before the game, you submit what your lineup would be. If a player's injured, you can change it. And right now, the two biggest men in the building, or the two most important men in the building, are Matt Hoff for Colorado and Matt Faggy, I should say, for California.
And if you're going to speculate here, you definitely, the two guys you can assume are going to be out there for Cal, B.J. DePauli and Jamison Roth.
If you look at, Hoff was beaten on 2 breakaways, stopped a couple others. Faggy has let one in and stopped about 2 or 3. Jeremy and I are both standing here. This is outstanding. For any fan of the sport or anybody that's played the game, you know what kind of thing this is. We saw this in the Olympics a couple years ago. The NHL does not adopt this format. Some of the minor leagues do. And we'll see who goes first here. I'm not sure which team is the home team, which team is the away team, if that makes a difference or not. Colorado in the whites, I'm assuming, would be the home team.
Being the higher seed as well at number 2.
But you take a look at Faggy. As now, a little bit of gamesmanship. Kyle Wicke trying to get into the California huddle on the bench, on the lines, and make sure that's as far as he's going to go.
Well, at this point, there's...
What are you going through your mind if you're a goaltender right now?
I'll tell you. But at this point on the California bench, I don't know if they're talking about the moves they're going to make, but I wouldn't be, let's put it that way, if I was on the shootout.
I think California, with the speed and the hands, we saw DePauli make some, and Roth, we know what kind of hands they have. Finsick, Fleming, players like that. My guess is those two will probably be in the shootout as well. It looks like Dennis Fleming looks like he might be the first one. The official is getting the lineup from both teams.
I don't know if I've ever been a part of a game with this much tension throughout the entire contest. The entire second period was so tense because there was constantly a power play, often a 2-man advantage. You knew the game was going to change, could change at any moment with the goal. Then, of course, the whole third period was tight, a goal either way as they're playing to get into this final 4 teams. And, of course, overtime, first team to score wins. I mean, tension has been there throughout second, third, into overtime, now the shootout.
And for Colorado, they have not lost yet this year, 21-0-2. And Dennis Fleming will be the first person on the ice for California, the freshman out of South Park. 5 players for each team working against Hoff. Hoff, the senior president of this team. I really don't have to say much. Fleming, first attempt for California. Scored. No, back post, no goal. Off the crossbar.
See if we have a replay of it. Here it comes. Dennis Fleming cutting in. Looking to take the shot up high.
Right off the elbow.
And ref, good call there, clearly not in the net.
Kyle Kraus, the next shooter. He had 11 goals on the year. Save. Great pad save by Faggy.
Matt Faggy spreading out, getting wide. Wow.
Adam Finsick will be the next shooter for California. Finsick has 3 assists tonight. He had 2 goals and an assist in the last game against Arizona State. Only a freshman. 1-0 California.
Unbelievable backcut, the skating skill there by Adam Finsick.
I can't do that.
Depositing it into the open cage. 5-4 California.
Next shooter for Colorado State will be Tyler Katsas, a junior out of Fort Collins. Had the first goal of the game, only had 3 all year. Save Faggy. Off the pad, off the crossbar.
Little backhand move there. Faggy got the pad out, just got enough of it. Cal with the advantage after 2 skaters each.
Jamison Roth. This would give Cal a huge advantage. Save. Big save there by Hoff. Roth wanted to go 5-hole and it wasn't there.
Jamison Roth, very simple play there, didn't make any fancy move. Thought he saw some room in the 5-hole, so he took the opportunity. Stick closed up there nicely.
Daniel Pham, only 5 goals on the year. Sophomore out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Left-handed shot. Oh, what a goal. The same thing basically the Finsick did.
Very similar, except he kept it on the forehand. Feggy ended up sliding off to his right, left some room off the left on the cut, tied up 5-5 after 3 shooters.
2 shooters each left for each team. Matt Hoffer, another freshman. Save.
Matt Hoffer going in on the backhand, kind of ran out of room there as the goaltender Hoff able to step up and make the save with the pad.
Chad Wetzel, 8 goals on the year. Another freshman, Aurora, Colorado. Save. They're trying to test him on that one side. It was a great move on the last goal. I don't think it was going to work this time.
And we're down to the last skaters.
BJ DePauli.
Can anything else happen in this game? The answer no. Here comes DePauli.
If you want drama, forget TNT. Oh, and he missed it high. And now it'll come down to one last shooter. It'll be number 2, Ben Bogus, the leading scorer for this Colorado team. 17 goals, 31 points.
Both teams saving their leading scorer for last. Wow.
Another freshman. Saved by Faggy. And now it'll be sudden death the rest of the way. Now if California scores, Colorado will have a chance to tie. If California misses, Colorado scores, the game is over. They'll go back to their first shooters. It'll be Dennis Fleming. He hit the crossbar on his first. Oh, no, one more?
That's Congleton's going to go.
Maybe. This is the 5th one? No, this is not 5.
This should be number 6, I believe. The truck's saying it's number 5.
DePauli, Roth, Hoffer, Finsick, Fleming.
They're pausing here to get their names, so maybe they go to the next 5
maybe that is
starting over.
And this does advantage Cal because they definitely have better. Their depth is a lot greater as far as skill goes.
Well, the game's all played on paper now. If one player scores and the other doesn't, that's going to do it. So.
Congleton, a junior out of North Hills. Hasn't had a point yet. It's 5-5 right now on the scoreboard. Save made by Hoff. Trying to go backhand.
Tried to slip it to the backhand there. Perfect positioning all the way by Hoff.
And David Ludwig, who was hurt at the end of the game. You need another storyline for this. Ludwig, 15 goals on the year. Scores. And that's the game. Colorado wins 6-5 in a shootout.
The words are hard to come by right now. California,
And California has absolutely nothing to be ashamed of in this game.
Certainly a big round of applause to both teams deserved here. And California battling to a 6th skater in a shootout, 6-5 to 5.
The only player to score for California was Finsick in the shootout. Ludwig scored for Colorado, and I wasn't sure who scored the other one. Doesn't really matter at this stage. Both teams shaking hands now. For California, the chance at a national title out the window. They're going to play Fresno State tomorrow at 4:30. They can finish no higher than 5th in the final rankings. Colorado on to the national semifinals. They'll play Penn State Berks tomorrow. As the two teams exchange handshakes at center ice. And after 65 minutes plus 6 players in a shootout, this is just nice to see because these two teams beat the heck out of each other for 65 minutes, Jeremy.
The physical play, the penalties both ways, everything left out on the ice. There's no question about it. And this very well might have been one of the greatest games I've ever seen in any sport, at any level, in any situation. And
for California, they came in as really an unknown team. They had the automatic bid to this national tournament hosting it. They did not back their way into the tournament, ended up 10th in the final national rankings before the tournament. They can finish no lower than 8th, no higher than 5th. But what a job. They have really validated themselves as a national title contender year in, year out. And this is a very young team, too.
A very young team. They're going to improve. They're going to have some things to say at next year's national tournament, guaranteed in Florida.